Please call our ASE certified technicians for assistance. Yeah, right. I'd rather scream, holler, and cuss and take shit off that I don't need to take off. Alright. Kind of did a little bit of work on the boat, and things being the way they are, and I've been kind of busy around the shop. I'm not going to talk about that thing over there. It's not fun playing in chicken shit. Yeah. And here's another project I got going on. I got to do the other side too, kingpins. Fine! So, anyway, the boat. Pulled the low pressure fuel pump off of it. I'll look at it. We'll look at it here in a little bit. I'm just kind of upbeat because this phone call I just had was just freaking rich, man. We're not even gonna get into that, but it just put a smile on my face. So, anyway, it's been fairly depressing couple of weeks with the boat, and bust out another 1,000. Yeah, but we might have it. Oh, I've been using it. But anyway, check out some of the stuff I got to help with me tearing it up, or keep from tearing it up, because I messed up the bottom pretty good. It's gonna need some fiberglass repair. I ain't even had it a month yet. Yeah. I just gotta remember it's not an aluminum boat with a 3-inch draft. Got me a keel guard. We might put that on. I might video putting that on. I've never put one on. Need to turn the air compressor off. But yeah, save the bottom. Anyway, this is the second fuel filter I put on it. We're going to cut this open and we're going to see what's inside it. And this little bad boy here, I think, was the root of all my problems. Along with, I don't have it with me. I'm at the shop, boat's the house. The thermostat was stuck open and corroded up bad. So that could have been part of the problem. The engine in the cold water, while the guy I bought it from didn't have no issues, because he only used the boat in the summertime, and the water down there usually runs 76 to 80 degrees. So the engine wasn't running cold, and the water that I've been in has been between 49 and 53 degrees. So and what I've read on the internet, so you got to take it for what it's worth. These forums, these Yamaha forums I've been looking at, everybody says thermostat, 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 and then the occasional this. So I went ahead and it's $207. It's 2003, so it's, you know, it's old. It's never been replaced. Cheap insurance. This is a low pressure fuel pump. If this thing goes and you're 10 miles offshore, which I plan to be, you're screwed. You gotta have somebody back here pumping a little hand pump. It was cheap insurance. The thermostat was 40 bucks. I figured buy one. It's the original thermostat. Why not? It's 2003, so you know it's 17 years old, 18 years old. I hate math. But so yeah, let's get this fuel filter cut open and see what's stopping her up. I don't know what it could be. Find out. Alrighty, here it is. Now this is metal from where I cut it. I'm curious. Now, if I'm correct, and I believe I'm right, the fuel goes through the center, out, and then up through the top, out these holes. So the supply goes in and that comes out. So The outside should be clean. It's the inside. No, I'm wrong. It's pretty clean. Huh? Huh. That's pretty clean, but damn. When I dump this thing out, and I don't have it on video, but when I dump this out, you wouldn't believe the debris that came out of it. This is why I wanted to cut it open. But this filter is still good. I mean, I was getting debris when I took and I dumped this thing out. A bunch of debris came out of it. Strange. And even inside there's clean too. Now we got to move to the tank to see if the pickup screen on the end of the tube is clogged. Now the previous owner told me that he redid the entire fuel system before I got it, and it's got brand new fuel lines on it. And what he did was, the pickup tube was originally that high off the bottom of the tank. That leaves about 5 gallons of fuel that you can't get. Well, from past experience with this particular boat, I know somebody who used to own one years ago who had problems with the venting system and water getting in the fuel. Ended up, I don't know how many times, that boat stranded me a few times out. You go back there and the fuel filter slap full of water, water in the fuel filter on the engine, the VST or the high pressure bowl for the fuel pump, it was slap full of water. Yeah, not a good afternoon. 2 or 3 afternoons. So anyway, that boat went back to the dealer. They cleaned the fuel tank, and they said that the reason why that fuel pickup tube was that far up off the bottom is so if you get water in the tank, you know, water sinks to the bottom, you know, water's heavier than gas, is so that the water will sink to the bottom of it's so that that tube is not in that water. Now if you get an excessive amount of water like we had, close to like 7 or 8 gallons, it doesn't matter. But if you get like, you know, a gallon or two or a couple quarts of water, and the tube wouldn't pick it up. If there's any debris on the bottom of the tank, there's supposed to be a screen in line, or a screen, I don't know where it's at on this, but some of them have a screen on the bottom of the pickup tube, some of them have them in the middle of the pickup tube. That's supposed to pick up debris before it gets to this filter. So anyway, the previous owner said that he didn't like that when he redid the fuel system, so he put the pickup tube directly on the bottom of the fuel tank so that he would be able to use all of the gas. If he needed to have all the fuel, he'd have all his fuel. That's good, but at the same time, if your pickup tube is sitting right on the bottom of the tank, you pick up the trash off the bottom of the tank. And the pre-screen that's in the tank really only good for big stuff. This filter here picks up the medium-sized stuff. The filter that's in line before you get to this is the fine filter. It picks up all the small little stuff. So anyway, let's dig into this, shall we? I've already had it apart. Okay, so one of the things that I thought may have been my problem was this. Okay, this is the inside of that pump. Hold on a minute. Dimensions for a dog box that we built for a buddy of mine that hunts. I started to film that, but that took 3 days of working after work. Here we go. Alright. So this runs off the cam. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. So one of the things we thought may have been a problem was this diaphragm here. Fuel runs through this side, and it pumps back and forth, and the fuel will go one way, and it goes through, and it just, so which way does this go? Alright, it sucks the fuel in through this hole and pushes it out through that hole, and that goes up into the engine. So the fuel should only be on this side and this side of the two pieces. This piece of plastic here, you cannot get this part. This part is, I couldn't find it anywhere online. But if you wanted to rebuild this, this is the part that usually goes bad. Is this rubber piece right here. As I was thinking that we had a crack in this, and it was allowing the fuel to go bypass through this rubber diaphragm, through here, and directly into the crankcase. This runs off the cam. It pushes this diaphragm back and forth. It sucks fuel through one side, pushes it through the other. And then it takes it to the high pressure pumps, which sends it to the injectors, which should be 40, 50 pounds, somewhere right in there. So we thought that may have one of the problems. So I was going to take it apart and check it, which was going to get replaced because, like I said, it was 2003. So I couldn't find anything wrong with the rubber. Now, the first thing I noticed when I took it apart was that corrosion right there, building up between the two pieces, and right there. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, we're replacing it, which we'd already, originally I was just going to replace this part. This was $40. The whole thing was $207. So then I saw this corrosion, said, yeah, we're getting rid of it, we're getting a new one. But that looks fine, other than when you can see the corrosion was building up on it. And it was sealed in there good and tight, so I don't see this being my problem. I'm leaning towards the fuel foot, the thermostat, because it was stuck open, but it could have also been part of it. I listed a teensy tiny bit. Could have been getting through there, I don't know, but it looked good. Anyway, that's low pressure fuel pump on a F15 Yamaha 4-stroke outboard. God, 2 strokes are so much simpler. All you had to do is put a little bit of oil in the gas and away you went. You didn't have to worry about making sure it had oil in it. You didn't have to worry about high pressure fuel pumps. Well, they did have 2-stroke fuel injected motors. They had a high pressure fuel pump on it. Did they? Yeah. No, they were carbureted. No, they were fuel injected. Yeah, they had fuel injected 2 strokes. I think. Yeah, anyway. I don't have one. I got a 4-stroke. My little Mercury was extremely reliable. Except for that time it wouldn't crank. Luckily I was at the boat ramp. So anyway, there's that. Hopefully I can get some videos out of some cool stuff, like me fishing in my new boat. I thought about doing this tractor over here on how to do these kingpins, but I didn't think y'all would want to sit through that. Of course there's a lot of cussing and screaming and hollering. But there was a cool trick that I think some of you might be interested in knowing how to get bearing races out of a blind hole without using a slide hammer or cussing and screaming. Well, you still cuss and scream. Let me show you this. And if you're doing this kind of work, you're going to have a MIG welder in your shop somewhere, I'd hope. You got a bearing race that's in a blind hole and you can't get it out and it's stuck in there pretty good. Just take your wire welder, doesn't really matter what the welding settings are on, just so you can get a bead in there, and run your bead all the way around. And what that does is that shrinks that bearing race, and about 60% of the time they fall right out. And then sometimes you got to work them out with a screwdriver or one of them things. Right there. But that's a good way to get them out. So, next time I hope to see you on the water. Or I'll be doing something else interesting. Or, could be, bring you along for when I play in chicken shit. Luckily, I spent the day cleaning this bad boy. Oh, that would have been a video. Yeah, we might just throw those clothes away. Working on this bad boy. Fun, 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 fun. Definitely make you wonder or question your career choices. There's some of the good stuff right there. Yep, make you hungry. Anyway, bye-bye.